Hey, welcome everybody to the Dry Heat Show with your host, Mike Messenger and Hoss
That's him.
Andrews. I don't know
That's
which way I'm
me.
going. I got this thing reversed.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome.
Hey,
It's been an interesting 3 or 4 days, if not
yeah,
5 days.
and even the last 24 hours been pretty doggone interesting as well.
You know, the news has been saturated with the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yep.
Um, and it's not so much what had transpired that evening, but the news is really focusing on what's going to happen when the jury comes back
Right.
and given their verdict. Well, we know now that they have.
Yeah, they've come back and nothing happened. And I think
Yeah.
the media once again trying to stir things up.
That's
You know?
exactly what's going on.
Yeah, it's totally crap. I'm sorry, but that's the best word I can use right now. I'm beyond unhappy about it. I really am.
Well, we are part of the media,
Yeah, I understand.
but we speak the truth.
Well,
Of course, they all say.
yeah. And I believe that we try to speak the truth, but we speak the truth based on the information we get.
That's right.
And if we don't get correct information, which anymore, I'm not really sure that I can trust any of them.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
I can't
totally
trust
agree.
CNN, C and all the N's, NBC, ABC. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all pretty much the same. Now, if you go over to Fox, they sound like they're more legit, but it's because they're telling me what I want to hear. I go to America
News.
AON
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's some conservatives.
And
I think OAN, yeah, One America News. I think, and with Fox, I think they're probably all telling the truth. It's just I haven't found any of them that I think are telling the whole story,
right,
which can alter the truth. But based on these facts that I'm going to list, it's true. It's 100%. Well, but you didn't list the other 18 things that also happened. And that's the thing that frustrates me with the media, including us, because, yeah, we're part of it. But by golly, I don't know how to fact check anymore. I sure don't believe the fact checkers.
No,
because they're
not.
biased too.
Yeah.
But I did get something, and I posted it this morning. I should have posted it on our page, but I'm going to read this. I don't know if you saw it or not. Actually, you did. You already liked it.
No, I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I did. Yeah, you did. I see that. But I'm going to read it. This is written by a friend of mine. And it says, great summary posted about the Rittenhouse trial. I have watched the whole Rittenhouse case. I didn't know that Kyle had put out a dumpster fire that was being rolled down to a gas station to blow up with people all around. I didn't know that the police were told to stand down as businesses were being destroyed. I didn't know that Kyle's dad, grandma, and friends all lived in Kenosha, 12 miles and 20 minutes from where he resided with his mom part-time in Illinois. I didn't know that Joseph Rosenbaum knocked him down twice and then attempted to kick him with lethal force to the head. I didn't know that Huber had hit him in the head 2 times with a skateboard. I didn't know that Gage Grosskreutz, I probably butchered
his name out. Yeah.
A felon in possession of firearm, aimed his gun at Kyle first, as he admitted on the stand. I also didn't know that in the state of Wisconsin, it is legal for Kyle to have a gun, even at 17, which is why the gun charge was dismissed. I didn't know that Kyle did not cross state lines with a gun he wasn't supposed to have, the rightful gun owner did, as he was legally permitted to do. I also didn't realize that Rosenbaum was a 5-time convicted child rapist and that Huber was a 2-time convicted woman beater. I also didn't know that Grosskreutz was a convicted burglar with an assault on his record as well. If the media had done their job, we would have all known this. And that's the thing. And I was going to comment on this before I read this morning. I was going to comment and say, you know, I really can't comment on the trial. Number one, I haven't been able to watch it. I don't trust the information that I've been given.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'm happy that he was acquitted or not.
But wait,
there's more.
There's more. Another individual didn't watch the trial, not a drop of it, but yet he called us, young man, a white supremacist.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
You know who that guy is. We all know who that guy is.
The guy who's either in the prone position right now or about ready to.
Well, I think he's up and running.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So
whether he's working or not, but he's up and running.
or is he just? No, I won't go there. So Kamala's not president anymore.
No, she was for 85 minutes.
Oh,
and I was really
God
scared
help us.
for those
Yeah.
85 minutes.
You know,
And I
and
went and checked all my ammo, made sure I got enough.
yeah. You know, people say, you know, we need to get rid of Biden. Well, you know what? The best thing he's got going for him is an insurance policy in his VP.
Yeah.
Because you get rid of Biden, guess what we got?
Oh,
So I just tell people, be careful what you wish for.
yeah.
You know, if
Total
we're going to get rid of
embarrassment.
anybody, there's 3 of them. And we're going to probably be raided by the FBI.
Yeah.
But there's 3 people that need to step aside. And I don't even know who number 4 is. Do you?
I would say probably Schiff, Adam Schiff,
Hmm.
whatever his name is.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
That
And
guy.
the guy. But you know, we just, holy cow! I just hope and pray that the Republicans stop looking out the rearview mirror and stop complaining about Trump's election was stolen. That's old news.
Of course
And-
it is.
And it seems obvious to me that it wasn't stolen because it's been over a year and nothing's been done.
Yeah.
So if it was stolen, somebody would be shouting in the streets, hey, look, we have proof. I don't know that there is any proof. I sure haven't seen it now. That having been said, there could be a ton of proof, but the media is just not reporting it. So again, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm frustrated by it. I really am. But whether it was stolen or not, let's say for a minute it was stolen. Nothing's going to be done about it. So let's get over it. Let's move forward and let's try and nominate some qualified candidates. You know,
That would be nice.
that would reach out to everybody and say, hey, I'm working for you. Now, that having been said, we have a United States senator in Arizona who all of a sudden is saying, hey, I'm reaching across the aisle. I'm working with the Republicans. I'm doing what's best for Arizona. I'm going to call you on it, Kristen. You're not doing what's best for Arizona. You just voted for the $1 trillion piece of crap that my great grandkids are going to end up paying for because nobody else can afford it. And that doesn't help Arizona. You know, I'm reminded of the shovel ready jobs. Well, guess what? I don't do shovel ready jobs. So that doesn't help me. Doesn't help me get a job. And as you know, at my age, getting a job is tough. It really is.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, we hear about all these people that are out of work and all that stuff. Tell you what, folks, you're right. There are a lot of people out of work. And there are some people that are out of work intentionally. And if I could have doubled up on uninsurance and a federal benefit, I'd have done it in a heartbeat. Sorry, but I would have done it. But in fact, I tried, but I couldn't. Thank you, PetSmart. But that's another story. But the fact of the matter is, there's an ad that I saw the other day. A city that I'm now working for, that will go unnamed, but they were looking for, they posted an ad for help wanted. I mean, for whatever.
Sure.
And it said that the open date will end once they get 150 applications.
Just the applications, not the hires.
Yeah, just the applications. So once we get 150 applications, we're going to cut it off. And that's what's happening, is that there's a lot of people out there making applications. I could see that because I had my resume out on Indeed, and on some of their pages, you would go ahead and apply, and it would show you how many applications had already been turned in for that position.
Really?
And I saw several that I was going to apply for that already had over 1,200 applications. Why am I going to waste my time with that? They're not going to select me. Not with 1,200 applicants. I mean, that's just insanity.
You know, you could dye your hair and shave off your beard and mustache, and you'd probably look a year younger, you know?
Nah. I would probably look like people would say, you know, that boy needs to grow a beard.
Yeah, he's got five chins.
Hide some of that.
That's what
stuff.
I have.
Hey, I wasn't going to go there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That was the whole reason I started this in the beginning, you know, because hey, all of a sudden my extra chins went away.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah, it's been an interesting 24 hours for me. I will say, based on what I know, I am happy that the young man was acquitted. I really am. I'm kind of surprised too.
Well, I watched the whole trial.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
And both my wife and I watched the whole trial.
Wow.
And I saw the videos, which really was the basis for the whole thing. The court, or the jury, I should say, was put in a position where you watch the videos, you have to make an assumption and a decision from the videos. And there was a couple of testimonies in there as well. Even one of the guys that Kyle shot.
Mm-hmm.
He even said that he pointed the gun at Kyle first.
And I saw that clip, and I saw the reaction of his attorney.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. Well, hey, it's the truth. You know?
Guy's, well, I'm going to pat him on the back.
Absolutely. He manned up.
Manned up and told the truth. But we watched that whole trial. But what was fascinating, because it went to the jury, and then all of a sudden there was another video, or the same video, that was given to the defense, but was blurry. In other words, the video of this whole thing scenario taking place on the street, was really sharp, and you could figure everybody out and who's doing what. But the copy that the defense had was blurry. You couldn't do it. But that did not come out, and it was leaked by the prosecuting attorney, that they had a better video to look at. So they had to stop that jury from deliberating and have them watch this other video.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This was afterwards. I mean, wow. You never hear that, you know?
No.
Go ahead.
No, I was just sitting here. Well, it reminds me, years and years and years ago, my son got himself into a little trouble. Actually, as it turned out, he didn't do anything, but he was accused of something. And he went to court. I didn't have any money. So we got a public defender who I thought did a horrible job. And I even raised some objections from my seat in the court.
Wow.
And of course, he's objecting. Hey, you can't do that. And the judge says, no, I want to hear what he has to say. And so I appreciated that. I really did. And I wanted my son to undergo some counseling during the trial. Because I said, if in fact he is guilty of doing this, he needs some help right now. And I had already talked to the prosecutor, who said, well, we can get him with a county psychiatrist. And I said, let's do it. And he said, in fact, we even have some that do hypnotherapy. I said, let's do it.
Wow. Yeah.
And my son's attorney says, you're crazy. No, I'm not. I want the truth to come out, because if he did this, then he needs help. And the sooner we can get him help, the sooner he gets better. Well, I had already discovered that I had a friend who was a psychologist and also a hypnotherapist, who I did take my son to. And I said, the court's not going to allow this, but I want to know the truth. And he spent a couple hours with him, and he finally came out. He said, your son didn't do it. I mean, I am 100% convinced. And that's what led me to go to the court. And Your Honor, I would like to speak. And I said, I understand, this is what I've had done. This is what I've been told. I understand the county has people and resources that can do the same thing. I would like him to be able to go there right now and then release their evidence to the court. And I object. Sit down, shut up. And he said, I'm his attorney. I said, I'm his father. And
Good for you.
We got into a big argument right there. And I was infuriated. And the judge said, I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying. As a father, I commend what you're saying, but I can't allow it. But I will remember this. And so when it came time to sentencing, the sentencing was, the judge said, based on the information, then he looked right at my attorney, as it was presented, I have no choice but to find this young man guilty. But I'm going to suspend, all jail time and this and that, whatever.
Right.
And I'm going to suggest that he go back to this counselor of his father's choosing. And if there's any charges, not charges, if there's any cost, we can take that into consideration, whatever. But anyway, the judge was being really cool. He really was. But, I stood up for him. And then we had to go to court for something else. Oh, there was somebody in the neighborhood that was putting out flyers on this trial. And so I went to court to get a restraining order.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, I find myself being asked questions about the original trial, which was downtown Phoenix. And now we're in a municipal court someplace else. And I said, wait a minute, I didn't come here today prepared to defend my son in this original trial that's already done. But if you give me a week, I'll come back and I'll do it. And the judge got really mouthy with me. And of course, you know me, I got really mouthy with him too. And I said, you're out of order. And I looked at my son and I said, come on, Scott, we're out of here. Judge says, you can't leave. I said, you want to watch me? Because here we go. And so with that, there's two sheriff deputies standing by the door.
Yeah.
And I got to them and they're looking at me. And I said, you gentlemen have a good day. We're out of here. He goes, yes, sir. Okay. And we walked
They
out.
let you go.
I didn't do anything wrong. The judge was out of line, you know, and they were serious charges, but we had been able to get through all of it. And then the lady that actually filed it, the complaint, was overheard saying outside the courtroom after she'd given testimony, "Oh, I hope I've done the right thing, because I'm just not really sure that I saw what I said I saw."
Wow.
But of course, now it's too late.
Right.
You know, we can't get her back in. So
Yeah.
at the end of all of this, a buddy of mine said, "Hey, you got as much justice as you could afford." And
Yeah, there you go.
that's where our legal system
Yeah.
has gone. You know, you look at OJ, and he got the best defense team that money could buy, and he walked.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody thought he was innocent, but
You walked.
you know, he got the best decision that he could afford, and he could afford a ton. So, you know, it's unfortunate. In defense of the attorney that we had, I mean, his caseloads were horrendous. He was just trying to get this one off his desk and get to the next one. He was totally buried. But
Well, still, it's his job to do. You know,
it was
a good job
but,
for the client.
But the reality of the thing was, he didn't have time. And when we went back for sentencing, I had my friend who was a hypnotherapist with me. He's a big guy. And here comes the judge walking down the hall. And I said, or not the judge, excuse me, the attorney, public defender. And I said, "Excuse me, before we go into court, I'd like to introduce you to this gentleman right here. He's the hypnotherapist that we talked about." He's, "Oh, okay, well, I don't have time for this." I said, "Oh, yeah, you do."
What?
And I grabbed his arm, I grabbed Bob's arm, and there was a conference room right across the hall. And I said, "You're both going in here." And of course, Bob went in there willingly. I pushed public defender in there, and I shut the door. And 10 minutes later, he came out, and the public defender had tears in his eyes. He said, "Your son's guilty, isn't he? Or your son's innocent, isn't he?" I said, "Yeah, you son of a bitch. Thank you very much."
Yeah.
You just crucified him. And then it was too late. I mean, the verdict had been written. Now we're going for sentencing. You can't go in there and say, "Hey, I screwed up, Your Honor." He actually probably should have. And I should have called for a mistrial.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what happens. And, you know, holy cow, we're just being played. And I've said this time and time again. I probably have said it every show we've done, but we are being played. And I'm so sick and tired of it.
Yeah, me too.
You know, there was a time I said, "You know what? I don't care what happens, because I'm going to just live my life and do what I normally do. And I can't change anything." And you know what? That's just not sitting well with me right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to do something. I don't know what, but Kyle did something. And hopefully he gives a lot of other people some backbone.
Well, the judge made a statement during the trial. He actually made many, but he cautioned the prosecutor over and over and over again to watch where he's going, because he's stepping out of bounds. And I don't know if you saw the clip where the prosecutor actually picked up the weapon and aimed the weapon. He said he was aiming at the wall. Looked like he was aiming at the jury with a finger on the trigger.
Really?
For a demonstration. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. So judge is probably thinking, what's with this guy? Well, as it turns out, the jury went into deliberations and decided that young Kyle was innocent on all 5 counts. Thank you. We have people who will stand up in this country and deliver the truth.
Yeah.
You know, that I thought the judge was great. I didn't see any bias in him with the prosecution or the defense. But if you watch that whole trial and you take a look at everything that transpired, if you're thinking that this kid, after being knocked to the ground, kicked in the head, several times he was kicked, hit in the head twice with a skateboard, and they're coming at him, he was told that they're going to kill him. And as they're running down the street, chasing him, you cannot tell me or anybody else or believe that he was guilty of self-defense.
Yeah.
He was protecting himself and his life. I would do the same thing,
Absolutely.
you know?
And I would have done it after I got hit in the head once.
Yeah.
Or probably would have done it even before that. You're coming at me with this thing up like that.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah.
You know, I would have said, don't bring a skateboard to a gunfight.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. But I think we're going to see more and more of this. And I was
Gotta have the guts and balls to stand up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like with the mob. The mob is out there. Well, here's something that I felt very suspicious of to begin with. Even before this trial started, or right when it started, the BLM started to show up.
Mm.
Now, what are they doing at this trial? First of all, these are all white people involved. So why was the BLM there? I know why, to cause trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing right now all over the U.S. in the major cities. Back to looting, breaking into the stores, setting fires. But that, if you don't stand up to these people, actually, they've defunded, like in Portland, they've defunded the police. Now they're being refunded again. So
Wow.
that's what's happening. And then, of course, we have all the drugs and everything coming over from across the border.
Yeah. Well, isn't
fueling all these fires.
Yeah. But isn't it interesting? I'm not saying now, I admittedly don't watch a lot of news. My better half refuses to watch any.
Bless her.
She's got enough on her plate, and she does. But therefore, it's awkward for me to turn on the news when I get home from work. And actually, when I get home from work, it's kind of late, so there's not a lot of news on. But even so, you know, I don't watch a lot of news, and therefore I'm really try to be careful on what I say. And I usually will paraphrase it by saying, you know, based on the information that I have, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I think everybody has a right to say things like that. I've got some liberal friends that, one in particular in Colorado, we spent some time with him a few years ago, and he and I sat in his backyard having a beer. Well, I had a beer. He doesn't drink anymore. And we started talking the issues. And all of a sudden we came to a resolution, or not a resolution. We came to an agreement on almost everything.
Yeah.
He would, well, what about this? What about this? And or say, well, okay, I could do that if you would do this. And, you know, we're going back and forth, not having a debate, but having a discussion. And the art of discussion has long since been lost. Congress needs to do that.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
How this $1 trillion boondoggle got through. I'm dumbfounded. And they're saying that, well, it was a bipartisan thing. Well, evidently some Republicans did vote for it, but not many.
I think it was 2.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I'd like to interview those people that did vote for it.
Yeah.
What is it that you know that I'm missing?
Well, they're not giving us everything.
Well, of course not. And there's
just like Pelosi went a few years ago and she said, you got to read this Obamacare. You got to pass it and then we'll read it.
Right.
It's like, we're not stupid, but it passed.
Sure. And that's what happened with this $1 trillion thing. There's things that I understand are in it that have nothing to do with helping the economy or building back better or whatever it is they're trying to make us swallow now. It's insanity. And the Democrats, I don't mean the politicians, but the public who register as Democrats, you folks deserve better. You really do. You're being played.
Totally
I
agree.
mean, and I don't understand why they don't see that. Whatever happened there was a time I thought we had it, but maybe evidently not. But I've always thought that a line item veto for the president was something that he needed to have.
Yeah.
But now, you have this bill and, oh, wait, I need the street out in front of my grandma repaved. I'm going to stick that in there. Has nothing to do with the bill, but as a senator or congressman, I can do that. That's not right. It really isn't. And I don't understand. I mean, I know it works both ways, both sides of the aisle. They both do it, when they have the majority.
That's right.
And so they'll never vote to get rid of it. And that's why we probably don't have the line item veto. But, I don't know what the answers are. I just know that I don't like what's going on right now. And, somebody else posted something today online that I saw, and they talked about all immediate attention for Kyle's trial. And now there was another trial that I think started yesterday. And my mind just went blank.
Is that in regards to the fellows in Georgia that shot and killed that black man who was
No.
allegedly? Because I'm waiting for that trial, see how that one ends. I personally, I think, and I shouldn't say he's guilty, but I think he who shot should not have shot that young man, that black young man in Georgia.
And see, and I'm not even following that at all. But no, the trial that is going on right now is Fantasy Island trial.
Huh?
Oh, gee, Merry Christmas.
Speaking of, while you're thinking about it,
See, I didn't think we were going to go here, and so I didn't have any notes for this. But it was the guy that was arrested. He had a little island where
pedophile isle.
Yeah.
Epstein.
Yeah, Epstein
and his girlfriend.
Yeah, and his girlfriend's trial started yesterday.
Yeah,
and so we have all this video of Kyle's trial. And the only thing that's come out of the other trial is an artist's drawing of it. Yeah. Evidently, cameras aren't being allowed. And, I'm thinking, again, the media was able to use Kyle's trial as a smokescreen.
Sure.
Because we haven't heard anything about illegal immigration for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it didn't just stop. And now you got the Epstein thing going on, and they don't want that out because there's going to be some big names that could be dropped in that trial. And I'm surprised she's still alive, quite honestly. I really am. So
let me see what happens there. I'm thinking she will probably get off, get a light sentence or something. It'll never go beyond her.
No.
All these people that are sitting out there, these politicians that took the flight down to Pedophile Isle, and there was many of them, many people. What transpired down there for them will never come out.
No,
you've got witnesses, those young ladies over there who were working in Epstein's mansion in Florida. They know all about it. I'm surprised they're still alive.
Yeah.
So I think there was 3 of them that testified to even get this Epstein in jail. So, and of course we know what happened there. He hung himself. Yeah, I know that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did because when you are put in, he was in solitary too, I think.
He was, and so he had a 24-hour guard.
Yeah, Yeah.
We just
There's-
happened to go to lunch, take a break, and the guy who was supposed to relieve him never made it. Or he got there and they both went to lunch, leaving Epstein alone.
Yeah.
So perfect time to hang himself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because, you know, hanging yourself is illegal.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's
it's
probably
just-
what happened to Jimmy Hoffa.
yeah. Yeah. This stuff has been going on for a long time.
Sure.
It really has. And I don't know. I really think at some point in time that somebody's going to cross the line and all of a sudden, all right, take off the gloves. Let's go. And you can call it a civil war, call it whatever you want. I don't think it's going to be a civil war. I see civil war as us fighting our brothers.
No.
I think this is going to be more of a revolutionary war. And I think
Yeah. Us
I'm
fighting
not
for freedom.
proposing that this happens, but I really think we're going to see some assassination attempts, not just on the big guy, but there's a whole bunch of people that
Yeah.
are involved that are very prominent. And I really think it's going to happen. I really do.
I think
Yeah.
the average Joe is just fed up.
Yeah.
The average American is just fed up with all the politics, with all the high prices. Gas now is almost $5 a gallon here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's horrible, but we're tired of that,
Yeah.
you know. And then they're allowing illegals in by the boatload,
Yeah.
pun intended. And they're talking about giving some of them $450 million each. No, that's where it's got to stop.
I think so. I think
We
you got a
stop at
bunch of veterans.
that border.
Yeah.
that
You
border.
got a bunch of veterans who say, wait a minute, I was separated from my family. I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even get a free ticket home
I
in
was
California
really,
when I was discharged. Yeah,
gee, many
I had
Christmas.
to pay for my own flight home.
Yeah. It's, you know, we're in the middle of a travesty without a doubt. Not only if we're in the middle of it, hopefully we're coming to the end of it, but I do fully expect some serious violence.
Yeah.
And I think what Kyle did, I think he spoke for a lot of people.
Yes, he did.
Enough. And we'll see what happens. But
Now we will.
I'm ready if it comes to my door. You
Me
know?
too, my brother.
Absolutely.
And I think I hear him knocking now. No, but hey, I think it's time to get on with our day and let everybody else get on with theirs. And
All right.
you know, it's been
Lock
an
and load.
interesting conversation. And of course, I always love to have these conversations. You know, there's a lot of topics out there,
Yeah,
a lot of things you can talk about. So,
absolutely.
This happens to be Kyle Ritten also today, and what happened with him. And go Kyle.
Yeah, go Kyle. Absolutely.
Let's go Kyle.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to change that. The other one's getting old.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
poor Brandon didn't do anything.
No, he became very popular, didn't he?
Oh my gosh. But you know, it's never mind. We'll go there maybe some other day. But it's been good talking to you, my friend. And let's do it again. I don't know. Next week?
How about doing it again next week?
Why don't we do it?
All right. Sounds good to me, my brother.
I'll see you. You have a great week.
Adios.